Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and in today's video I want to talk to you about what is the best possible lens for general photography for the beginner. First thing we have to do in determining the perfect lens for a beginner in photography is to determine what the ideology would be to figure that out. You want a lens that is versatile enough to allow you to learn what kind of photography you actually enjoy doing. So you need to be able to shoot in a variety of situations without having to do a whole bunch of cumbersome and laborious work with the camera. That allows you to explore photography and not be limited to just say one area like portraiture or wide angle street or landscape or whatever. It allows you to dabble in everything. So therefore, my opinion is going to be a zoom lens. Chattanooga has a very interesting thing in the courtyard here at the Creative Discovery Museum. It has a sundial. This is the sundial. Okay, and I've been intrigued by this sundial ever since they installed it, because what they've done, let me get around here so you can see, is they have calibrated the months into the concrete on this ring. So this chapter ring comes around. Okay, we're at the beginning of February. See, there's January, there's February. So at the end of January, beginning of February, it's going to be along this line right here. So if you follow out to the shadow of his hand where it crosses this meridian is 12, as you can see right there. All right. So it's crossing this line at about 5 after 12, something like that, because that's 1 on that next meridian. That's 1 p.m. So you're looking at about 5 after. Well, my watch says it's 15 to 1. So it should be way over here. This thing has been out of calibration ever since it's been here. So, in my opinion, the perfect beginner lens is a mid-range zoom. This one is a little bit unique because it's an older one, but if you're shooting on a Nikon Z system, the 24-70 f4S is a wonderful beginner lens. 24 to 70 millimeters covers about all of the general purpose photography. You can do indoor family photos like at birthday parties or Christmas or what have you. 70 millimeters lets you reach just a little bit into the telephoto, so if you want to dabble in portraiture, it'll do that. F4 is plenty fast enough to get good background separation. Just choose a location. Is that really got to be that loud? Okay. Just choose a location where the background's pushed back a little bit and you'll get wonderful background blur. Now, if you're doing headshots, across the room, the background is going to be blurry at f4. So those lenses are wonderful beginner lenses. This is the 35 to 105 AIS. This was made in the late 80s. I like this lens because of the functionality of 35 to 105 millimeters. Now it's a variable aperture. It varies from like f3.5 to f5.6 or something. I don't even worry about f4.5. So it's about 2/3 of a stop of change from 35 to 105. And they do that to keep the lens more compact. This one has an ace up its sleeve. It has a macro functionality. You mash this little button on the barrel and you spin it and it moves all the lens elements just a little further away. And what that really does is it doesn't give you genuine macro, it gives you closer focusing. So if you're wanting to do more up close portraiture, that will allow you to focus just a little closer. That's kind of an extra function this lens carries with it. Now it's full manual, so I have to drive it, to where the 24 to 70 f4S is a fully electronic driven lens, and you can use it to literally, the camera can control all of it, you know. And so if you're just getting started, this must be the spot for the loud cars. But if you're just getting started in photography and you want to let the camera do most of the driving, I would recommend that lens over something like this. Yet another benefit is you only have one lens. You don't have to debate over which one you're going to mount and use that day. You just use it. It's already on the camera. There's no thinking. There's no, what do they call that? It's not anxiety. It's you know, it's the. You guys will drop it in the comments, but it's the inability to make a decision because you have too many choices. There's a name for that, and I don't remember what it is right now. But you know, if you're like I was a few years ago, I would take a bag and it'd have 4 or 5 lenses in it, and I'd take the camera, or maybe even a spare, and a bunch of stuff like that, and you would spend your time, decision paralysis, maybe that's the word, but you'd spend your time trying to figure out what to use instead of actually just taking the photos. And now I'm out on this walk, I've got the camera, I've got just one battery. I didn't realize that till just a few minutes ago. But Nikon's battery management is so good, their power management, I'm not really worried about it. But at the end of the day, the zoom lens is really the better choice for the beginning photographer. That's what it boils down to. All right, I don't know if you can see this or not, maybe you can. What you're seeing there is broken window glass. And this is a street side parking space right here beside some kind of what appears to be a doctor's office or a lawyer or something. But I'm thinking people that may live in those houses or something in this area, there's an apartment complex right there, very possibly one of their cars. But I wasn't here, so I can't say definitively how that window got broken, but I'm going to speculate that someone broke into the car by busting the window out. That's what that looks like. The position on the street right there on the street side parking, I mean, it could have been an accident. They could have accidentally broke it doing something else, but a lot of times when you see glass like that, that's from someone breaking into a car. You see that a lot in New Orleans. You see blue glass all over the place down there where people get their windows broke out all the time. So in summary, I would say the basic beginner photography perfect lens would be a mid-range zoom with autofocus and auto aperture control capabilities, so that you can start out gradually letting the camera do most of the thinking, and then as time goes on you can turn those functions off auto and put them on manual. Let this truck go by, allowing the photographer, as they learn, to take more and more control of the camera. So with that, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down there. You know where it's at. It's right over there. And until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, no matter what kind it is. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.